Good afternoon, everyone. This is Jared with selfliquid.com. So today, another big earnings kind of announcement. Really, the biggest was, in my opinion, Goldman Sachs. So the banks, have started announcing yesterday. Yesterday was J.P. Morgan. Today, Goldman Sachs, Bank of America, another notable. Just taking a quick look at it. It had another or a really big move up as well. Oops. There we go. So up 7%. So with such really big move, um, like this from banks, it pushed XLF above an area that I, think is pretty key. So right above 25, and this opens up the door for around 26. You can see just kind of looking back here. So this is a daily chart that going back all the way to October. This area, both 25 and 26 has acted as both support and resistance. And going into tomorrow, we'll get a little more into this in just a minute with Netflix, but going into tomorrow, the market is sort of priced in a way where I think we are going to see volatility, kind of start to come back. So let's take a look at the VIX. So this is the volatility or the fear index, and you can see that really after this massive um, move we had here in the VIX in December, which is, essentially in the inverse of what happened in equities. Um, I think it's at a point where it may be ready for volatility to kind of come back. So you can see kind of going into the end of the day, if we look at a lower time frame here, that it kind of went out near its highs. And I think with this squeeze, getting ready to fire here, we could see a nice move up in the VIX. And that could, basically ultimately lead to downside pressure on equities. I've talked about this before where with Netflix's earnings tomorrow, I really think that if it, has a downside move, and that's what I'm positioned for right now, um, I think it could start to kind of drag the market with it. So I think tomorrow is going to be a big day. If we see a spike up in volatility, I think it could be an early sign that the markets are getting ready to sell. So just kind of one final thought here. Let's look at the DJT, the Dow Transportation. So this is kind of a good signal of just kind of the health of the market and can be sometimes an early signal of when the market's getting ready to sell. So if we look at this from a daily perspective, you can see that I've run this from the high to low here. And let me activate to make sure I got the bottom. There we go. We've bumped right up into the 34, and that's just shy of this 382 level. So with all this overhead resistance, you can see the changing of the color of the candle. So this is bearish, changing to this dark blue like this. So, there's a lot of things right now shaping up to where we have seen these, massive moves like in Netflix, I believe up 50% off of its low right around, I believe it's on the 26th. So anyway, I just think that, just be very cautious right now. There's not a lot that makes me want to be bullish in this market, especially with some big earnings announcements coming up in tech. So that's really about all I've got here today. If you're enjoying these videos, I would ask that you please subscribe. It acts sort of as a motivation fuel for me. And if you are going to be watching the Netflix earnings tomorrow, come watch it with me. I will be streaming it live, so we can kind of check the action out tomorrow and see, really what will be in store for Friday. So once again, I thank you for watching and have a good evening. Take care.